Hello friends, welcome to another edition of Instant Film Model Shoots. I'm going to tell you about one I did in Seattle earlier this week. It was with a model named Riley. Riley is from Arizona. I haven't shot her in Arizona yet, but this is my second time shooting her in Seattle. She's a fashion statistics model, which means she's 5'9" in height, but she's only been modeling for 9 months and fell into the art model part of the spectrum. She's just starting touring now. I highly recommend her if you're the kind of photographer who books models on the West Coast, but this is about the instant film stuff that we shot. Now, I worked with my SX70 and my Fuji Neo Classic Instax Mini. These are my two go-tos right now. Since I paid so much for this refurbished SX70, since I'm so familiar with this Fuji Neo Classic, I've been using it for almost 6 years now, I just felt like I can stick with these for a little while and try and make really good work with those. The great thing about the SX70 is that you can focus through the viewfinder. The bad thing about it is that it doesn't come with a flash. I bought a flash, I've used it on this. I'm not really a big fan of it. I would prefer to just work with natural light and this guy. So these images I'll show you of Riley came out a little bit dark, and I didn't take the time to do any adjustments in camera. You do have a little exposure wheel here, but it was kind of a nasty day outside. Seattle is famous for its rain, and the day that we shot was absolutely totally rainy day. Not ideal for working with this kind of film. However, perfect exposure is not what I go for in my photography. I go for emotion, expression, experimentation. So I feel like some of these shots have what I'm looking for. However, when I shoot with the Neo Classic, I'm gonna use this guy indoors, I'm gonna use the flash, and because I've been enjoying making these photo collages, this is something that I actually get requested for a lot by a lot of the models I shoot with. As you can see, I've got a few of them on the wall behind me. I just went ahead and did that with Riley and her boyfriend Braden. And the fun thing about having two people to work with is we could kind of plan it out where chunks of the collage ended up being Braden and chunks of it ended up being Riley. That's not something I've really been able to do with other people. Every time I've done a collage with somebody else, it's just a collage of themselves. So this is something we kind of mapped out at the moment, that we needed these chunks of Braden, we needed these chunks of Riley, and the bits that I wasn't able to fill in during shooting with this, I've actually printed off using my Instax Wi-Fi printer, using digital images. I had, a few hundred digital images of this couple, and only 20 of these guys with them. It's a combination of the two. As an artist, I'm not gonna get hurt whether as an artist who has conceptual ideas, it doesn't really matter to me how I get to the point to execute those ideas, as long as they get executed. So whether it was originally shot on this camera or was shot on another camera and printed on the Wi-Fi printer, I don't personally care. I'm going to turn it over to Riley though. She had a lot of interesting things to say about photography, working with film, working with chemistry. So, and here she is, Riley in Who are you?
Hi, I'm Riley. I am a model in Seattle. I've been modeling for about 9 months, and I'm out here with David. We're shooting, having some fun, playing around with different cameras. It's really cool because he's showing me some different effects you can do with Polaroid cameras. So it's almost like playing with the science of it, as opposed to having an image in your head and creating it. You're kind of exploring what the universe wants you to create. So it's exciting seeing what's gonna happen. The reason I like modeling is because I love images. I love looking at photos. That's what I like to do. It's interesting to me to see the different types of photos, because I'll sit there and be like, okay, how can I make my photos more interesting? How can I create that, invoke that emotion like that? And I've noticed a lot of it has to do with the camera, and different types, even with film, people will talk a lot about like digital versus film, the vibe you get with each one, but I've noticed within that there's so much more to it. A lot of the art of it is like the texture of the whole image. It's not just like, oh, that's a cute color, that's a cute color. It's the way it feels. It's the way it feels in your heart. It's the way the colors make you feel, or if it makes you feel kind of lonely, that's a whole vibe too. It's interesting how much the camera creates the vibe.
There you have it. Great model to work with. I think very insightful about the things that she likes, about her own modeling, about photography in general. And I can tell, even though she's been doing this for 9 months, she's going to go really far. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.